you work with the exercise. And so depending on how many people show up in this exercise, we've had to adjust, obviously. The more people you have, the harder it becomes to do these one-on-one exercises, but that's fine. We have a lot of material for you to work on. And so this entire workshop for the next 4 days will include a combination of lectures and hands-on exercises. The lectures will be in the main room with everybody, and we will then break out into breakout rooms where we have specific guided exercises which you can do on your own with the assistance of a breakout room instructor. You'll notice there are a number of instructors available. I won't bother to mention all of them right now, but you'll get to meet them throughout the workshop. They are present. Every instructor has added the word instructor next to their name. So for example, if you mouse over my name, you'll see that it says Omar Harb -instructor, and you will see that across the meeting participants. You'll be able to figure out who's an instructor. We do have a 30-minute break every day, and that's exactly at the same time. So it's about 2 hours after the start of the workshop. And so that'll give you time then to grab a bite or stretch or drink some coffee, or if you want, we will keep the breakout rooms open, and the Zoom obviously meeting will continue being open throughout the workshop, but we will throughout the day, that is, but we will keep the breakout rooms open so you can, if you decide you feel like you need to work on the exercises longer, or you want to converse with the instructor, you can do that during that time as well. But we do also encourage you to take some time and stretch, have a coffee or a tea or water, and walk around your house or your office and take a break, because that's always very helpful. All lectures will be recorded, so all main room lectures will be recorded. The breakout rooms will not be recorded, but all the main room lectures will be recorded and will be posted and made available through the workshop website, which I will show you in a second, and all of you should have received a link to that in the email that contained the Zoom link. There is a possible feature in Zoom, if you have the latest version of Zoom, called closed captioning or transcription. We've never tried this in our workshops. It's a new feature, so we will see today if it works. If you feel like this is something that you would benefit from, then you can go ahead and turn it on. In your Zoom panel, you should see, the area where you can turn on your camera or mute yourselves. You will see in the middle, there'll be, if you're a co-host or a host, you can share your screen, or if it's enabled, you can share your screen, but you will also notice a section for live transcripts. You can click on that, and you will get a pop-up that gives you additional instructions. And so you can follow those and see what it looks like. You can always turn it off. So up to you. Just a reminder, please mute yourself. I think all of us with this pandemic and all of us getting used to Zoom, we all have gotten accustomed to muting ourselves immediately. But if you, just as a reminder, mute yourself when you join, but feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question or you would like to ask anything. That's obviously encouraged. Feel free also to use the chat box. We will try our best to follow, we have multiple instructors looking at the chat box and everything, so we'll try and answer things there as well. But of course, if you don't get an answer, chat again or unmute yourself and ask the question. So all the instructors here love to be interrupted. So so we don't have any rules and regulations that if an instructor is speaking, nobody else can ask questions. Actually, the contrary, we would rather you interrupt us and ask us for clarification, rather than waiting till the end and then thinking that maybe you should not ask the question or it's too late. So definitely, if the instructor says something that is unclear, ask at the time. Feel free to interrupt. We encourage that, and there are no problems with that, obviously. If you have any questions, of course, anytime you can contact us at our helpline. I will also show you where you can access that from the website. And that's it. And so enjoy the workshop. So before I turn it over to David and David Roos and Marianne McDowell, Let me quickly switch over to the website. And just as a reminder, mute yourself if you're unmuted. Looking at the ViewPathDB webpage, I did send this link in the email that went out, but just as a reminder, in case you're having trouble finding the workshop link, you can go to Help, Learn how to use ViewPathDB, and you will notice here there are a number of options for you. One of them is workshops. If you click on workshops right in the center of the page and click on Explore, you will see here that we are in this December 13 to 16 virtual workshop. And if you click on this link, you will get this table, which has the details of the workshop. This table will update probably before we get started with the first breakout session. This will update for today, and we will see hyperlinks right here to the actual exercises. So don't worry, you will get access to the exercises. We'll probably also, if this for some reason is not working, we'll also share them on through Zoom and just upload them as a shared document. Okay, I will go through other general things with ViewPathDB in a few moments, but for now, I think I will turn it over to David and Marianne, and I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen because I don't know if you have anything to share.
Sure. Can you hear me all right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thanks. Very sorry for the confusion in getting set up on my end. I suffered a catastrophic laptop failure this morning, so I'm operating off of a tablet. But welcome to everyone, wherever you may be, whatever time of day it may be for you. I'm one of the principal investigators associated with the ViewPathDB database project. I've met many, but certainly not all of you, and look forward to meeting all of you through a combination of Zoom calls and in face-to-face meetings in future. And I did want to acknowledge that while the people that you'll be meeting here today and over the rest of this week are largely associated with outreach activities for the ViewPathDB project, this project depends absolutely on the effort of many others involved in sourcing and identifying data sets, in loading those into the database, and in creating and maintaining the infrastructure that's responsible. It's a team of several dozen individuals working at various sites in the US, in the UK, in Uganda, and at various different times in other places in the world. And so we're really very grateful to all of them for the work that they do that makes it possible for people to ask their questions, and that this work has been supported by the U.S. National Institutes of Health, by the Wellcome Trust in the UK, by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and by various other smaller foundations and governmental funding agencies. So for that, we are also very grateful. But the main point that I want to convey is that the entire purpose of these database resources, which are used pretty widely by on the order of 50,000 unique users per month, with the average user returning on a weekly basis, the entire purpose of these resources is for you, to allow you to ask your own questions, to carry out your own experiments in silico, to learn what is known about the genes or entities that you're interested in. And so these kinds of workshops are central to what we do. And there's no such thing as a stupid question. This resource is for you. If you have a question, it is by definition a good question. And we look forward to hearing your questions about what works, what doesn't work, what you're having difficulty with, whatever it is that you can do. Marianne, did you want to add anything as a colleague, as a principal investigator?
Sure, I'm Marianne McDowell. As David mentioned, I'm also one of the principal investigators of the ViewPathDB project. I just want to welcome everyone. I'm looking forward to meeting you. I think our instructors have put together some good tutorials or exercises to introduce you to the resource and the different tools available. And I'd like to also mention, as David and Omar both said, no question is a dumb question. Please interrupt and ask questions, but also give us feedback. We appreciate any feedback on how the workshop's going or the resource, and then we'll get back to you. And you can contact us in a variety of ways. Omar, take it away.
Okay, thank you. So let me go ahead and share my screen again. Okay, so first of all, let me just quickly give you an overview of today, and then we will get in with the first lecture, which is a general introductory lecture of ViewPathDB resources. So as indicated in the email and also on the schedule, the Zoom link or the Zoom room will open every day at 8:30 a.m. This is a time for you to interact with your colleagues or just make sure you're set up properly and everything is working. So feel free to join anytime between 8:30 and 9. We encourage you to join before 9 a.m. I know some of you may not be able to due to different circumstances, but if you're able to join, we encourage you to join before 9 o'clock, because this way you can get started, and we will start at 9 a.m. sharp. So encourage you to join a few minutes early, if not at 8:30, which you're more than welcome to do. So the first thing we will do this morning is I will start off with an introductory lecture of ViewPathDB resources. This will be very basic, but really it's meant to make sure that all of us are on the same page as we progress through the workshop exercises. After this first lecture, we will open up the first breakout rooms, and this will include a set of 3 exercises that will be covered, that will be available to you, and you will work on these on your own, but of course you'll have an instructor in the breakout room who will be available to answer questions. These exercises are guided exercises, so they give you detailed instructions as to what to click on, where to go on the website, and what to search for. And they're meant to give you an idea of the full breadth of tools and searches and data that are available through ViewPathDB. So the first set of exercises will center around searching and setting up your preferences, your organism preferences, and accessing gene pages in ViewPathDB resources. We will then have our break at 11 a.m. US Eastern time, of course, depending where you are in the world, that's a different time. After that, this will be a half-an-hour break. We will come back for a lecture on search strategies. And search strategies is really a way for you to run in silico experiments on the resource, where you can ask your own questions and combine results, and we will delve into that further. This lecture will be followed by an exercise that specifically centers around you building your own search strategy and learning how to construct one and construct this in silico experiment. And then we will have a short wrap up at the end of the day, where we will give you a prelude of what's coming tomorrow and potentially answer some general questions that came up. We will keep, while the workshop officially ends at 1 p.m. US Eastern time, so about 4 hours from now, or 5 hours from now, 4 hours. We will keep the Zoom link open for another extra half an hour, and this is in case any of you have extra questions or you'd like to hang out a bit longer. You're more than welcome to hang out for another half an hour, but not required. But just to let you know that the Zoom link will stay open for another 30 minutes for your convenience.